I was just going to talk about that. Seeing a Kha'Zix highlight. Hopefully, I'll get to that in just a moment. The Pantheon, very durable, has a stun, so you ban him. Wukong's got a lot of good damage. Poppy's got amazing chase, good mobility. She's got an invulnerable, makes for a good dive. And Jace is just. He's Jace, man. He's what can't that guy do? He can ranged AD, he can melee bruiser, he can live a really long time, he can hammer. It's good stuff. So Jace gets banned. So we're seeing an Ezreal pick for StAT. And Ezreal is a champion that's been very, very good in this game mode. Actually, just all around has been a very, very good champ. It took a really long time for the community to catch on to how good Ezreal is. I mean, that champion had been out for a very long time, and then all of a sudden, it's like everyone just started using him out of the blue, kind of figuring out how he worked. And he's a tricky champion to use, so I really have a lot of respect for anyone who plays Ezreal, having messed around with him myself a little bit recently. And he's just positioning. And if you are good at being able to get him into the right spots to deal that damage, then he's one of the most threatening champions that there is. So it's not surprising at all to see him as a first pick. Now, on MSM's team, we are seeing a Nunu and a Kha'Zix. Nunu's known for being a very good bottom lane champion with a very high amount of sustain, and Kha'Zix is known for being an excellent assassin because of his Q, which does extra damage to isolated targets, and his evolved leap, which is amazing in Dominion because he can clear walls that other characters can't.
Pretty much. That evolved leap is huge, and you get the reset, and resets are always really nice. I haven't, of course, had the chance to see him in tournament yet. I think I saw him like once. I think he came out the week before I left, so I think I saw him like one game, but I am excited to see how things have changed with his play. Speaking of Ezreal, as people are talking about incoming changes with the next patch, most likely as the season ends, Ezreal getting hit fairly hard, taking away his entire attack speed debuff on Essence Flux, which I don't know how much that will affect it in Dominion. It's more so obviously because it's his 1v1 dueling capability against other ranged ADs, and I don't see that to be as often a case in Dominion, because it's not always standard to have two ranged AD or one ranged AD on each team. But it's, I don't know. I'm not sure if it merits having that hard of a hit, because you're taking away pretty much the main function of a spell. I mean, it still does damage, but it's debatable. We will see how things turn out, and I'm interested in seeing if that will take him away in the top tiers of Dominion play also. I think it's definitely going to take him away for a little bit in the top tiers of Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, if nothing else, it will cause people to evaluate other champions for a while, as what usually happens.
That would be the bigger case, yeah.
Yeah, as what usually happens is when someone gets hit with a lot of quote-unquote nerfs, they're like, oh, this champion's terrible, now I'm going to play something else. And they play something else for a while, and they're like, actually, maybe it's not that bad. But that attack speed slow, as you mentioned, in Dominion, is very, very powerful due to the presence of AD champions and how prevalent they seem to be in this game mode, and being able to have that attack speed slow, especially combined with we're seeing a Malphite that gets pretty vicious, especially with the Frozen Heart being such a commonly built item also, then, I mean, it's sort of very anti-AD, and I think it works out really, really well. Is it maybe a little too powerful? Who knows? We'll see if that change goes through or if it gets adjusted, because it's still in the very kind of proposed stages at this point, from what I understand. Maybe they'll remove it, maybe they'll only reduce it, maybe they'll keep it. Jury's still out. It'll be a few more weeks before we know, but we're seeing an Aurelia and an Eve. Now, Eve could just kill people. Like, there's not really another way to put it. Eve will just kill people. DFG, ult, other button, I forget what it is, and people just go from full health to basically nothing and die. And Eve and DFG are both something that are also looking at potentially getting adjustments, according to some of the patch info that was posted on, not patch info, but proposed changes that were posted on League of Legends' site. But for right now, Eve is still an extremely strong champion, and she didn't get used too often in high levels of Dominion. But in the last, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 weeks, we've started seeing her creep up into tournament-level games. And Aurelia has always been a solid choice. She's got a stun, she's got a slow, extraordinary durability, and she works well with one of the more common items, which is Mercury Treads, because the tenacity from Mercury Treads works well with her kit. So we'll see if Irelia or Irelia can throw down here.
Yeah, as as people are mentioning, Nunu is on the other side with also that famed attack speed slow. But yeah, I mean, as you said, Malphite and Easy, the combined or the capability of both champions being able to debuff attack speed is great, but Kazak's not really reliant on attack speed. I feel like he's more of a caster and a nuker. And then Corki, I mean, sure, he wants to auto attack, but again, not as much as, say, if it was a Vayne, who is, pretty much all auto attacking. So we'll see. We'll see if that really comes into play, or if it's. I mean, Malphite is of course still really good against 80 champions, just because he wants to stack armor naturally, as he does more damage with armor, and he's just gonna get really tanky and not take much from these 80 champions on the enemy team.
I also, in regards to Corki and other ranged ADs, I also find that it's hard to deliver that attack speed reduction to them because they're usually so far in the back. For champions like Malphite and Ezreal, I don't think Like should be able to connect with those attack speed slows. And more about Corki. Corki's a champion that we see sometimes because Corki's maybe a little clunkier than some of the other AD champs like Vayne and Ezreal. He has Valkyrie, so you can use that to, get in and out of fights, much in the same way that Arcane Shift and Tumble can be used, or Fine Flower Tumble combination, rather. And he has some true damage shred as well, which is really useful considering the sort of overall durable, tanky meta that Dominion is at right now. So I think Corki's a pretty solid pick. Amumu, everyone talks about being one of the most dangerous champions in Dominion for tanks because he has so much AoE damage. He's great at defending on points. And over on StAT's team, we're seeing Maokai, and Maokai's, I'm gonna guess Maokai bottom lane. He's got good sustain. His Maelstrom is great for defending and just staying alive. And if you double click that, you can use it as a really sneaky ranged attack. That's something I think separates the lower level Maokai players from the higher level ones, is being able to use that R to get that sort of ranged shot once in a while for that little extra bit of damage that I've seen help more than a few times. And one of the things that actually is really jumping out at me here is for a team that's composed of people that are such high ELO in Summoner's Rift, we're seeing a lot of revives, we're seeing exhaust garrisons, one flash on the carry. I'm thinking these guys know what's up, so I'm really interested to see how this plays out against a somewhat more established team with StAT containing a lot of players that have been active in the Dominion community for a while.
Agreed. I saw that flash, and as soon as you mentioned, Corki has that Valkyrie, but it's a little bit slower, it's a little bit clunkier. That flash is going to give him that same mobility. Of course, it's not going to give him any offensive stats, but if his team is able to rally around him, especially with people like Amumu and even Nunu to help heal if they get into a full fight, that should be pretty good for Corki. So pretty excited for this match. Once again, it's round one of Dominate Dominion number 27 between StAT on the blue side on the top of the screen here, going up against MSM here on the bottom on the purple side of this game.
I was just looking at the art for all these characters and stuff like that, and I realized just how cool it would be if they were animated. Like, just think about Evelyn's hair, or Aurelia's hair, or Lee Sin's hair, or the shells from Corki's machine gun, or like any of that stuff. I'd pay like $60 for an HD remake of this game.
Be bad, but I feel good.
That would take years to develop, though. Need a whole new art team and stuff. But who knows? Maybe League of Legends Year 9, they'll have a 10th year anniversary something, maybe.
Possible. Quite possible.
It'd be pretty cool. I do like this, the Dragon Fist Lee Sin skin, though. It's pretty cool. He's got glasses. I mean, Crystal Scar's got a lot of orange, reflects light pretty well. It's kind of deserty. Throw on those glasses. Save your corneas a little bit. Aurelia's got him too. She knows what's going on.
I may be bad, but
So let's look at starting items. Fairly standard here. A lot of Prospector blades everywhere, as a matter of fact. We do see a Dorn Shield start on Malphite, along with that Ruby Crystal for the extra health, and on his passive with that shield from Granite Shield. That's pretty neat. Nunu gonna be going bot against Maokai with that Prospector's Ring. As we mentioned, Nunu just gonna push sustain pretty much. Maokai also being able to do the same, which makes them both great bottom laners here on the Crystal Scar. And as these finish, I mean, what do you think is going to happen up top? It looks like it's going to be a standard 4v4 up top as we begin. Kazak's lagging a little bit behind there, but he's got the blood boil, so he's going to catch up just fine.
I will let you know I got that thing with the client again.
Ah, all right.
Contagious, man. So I should be in just a moment.
As we go up, Lee Sin is going to reach the windmill way ahead. But Malphite's there. Everyone's kind of prepared. Red side is going to get a little bit of a channel up, but it's not going to matter too much. Ezreal going on with the poke. Kha'Zix has taken a hit already, and now everyone's turned to level 4, so we may start seeing a fight here. I really it takes a little bit of poke from both Kha'Zix and Lee Sin. Both teams just kind of playing really passive right now, but there goes Amumu with the bandage shots. They're going to jump in. The leap comes in from Kha'Zix. Lee Sin also jumps in. They get the first kill onto Irelia. Kill credit goes to Lee Sin. Kha'Zix is actually going to get kited by Ezreal. Goes down. Evelyn picking up that kill. Malphite's taking a lot of damage. He tanked all of that pretty much for Ezreal. And now Ezreal also getting chased down by Corki, but there's the exhaust. But Corki uses his flash offensively to go ahead and pick up that health relic, turns around and picks up another kill onto Ezreal. Lee Sin going to return next to Momi to capture the windmill. Irelia comes in, but she's all alone. Not the best place to be right now. It's still a 4v1. No one had been lost here, or at least not at the moment for the second time, because Kha'Zix did return with revive. Everyone else was still alive on the red team. They capture the windmill, and Lee Sin and Kha'Zix at good health, going to be able to defend it until everyone else regroups. So we are going to see Evelyn and Malphite make a move towards the drill here on the red side. Are they going to wait for Amumu and Corki? No, they're actually going to run straight forward, and Corki's going to be able to intercept them first. Amumu trying to make a wrap around, but Corki's taking so much burst damage from Evelyn and Malphite. Amumu comes in and does stun Evelyn. She takes some tower damage, so she has to run. We do see the garrison has been used offensively on this drill, but there is another garrison going down on the drill. Once again, Lee Sin returns. He doesn't connect with that sonic wave, but Malphite is getting chased. He's been slowed, and he is going to go down to Lee Sin and Amumu. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Nunu actually gets a full channel onto Maokai and takes him out instantly, just in time to catch that. Maokai had taken down Nunu a little bit lower, but he just turned around and caught Maokai in that full blast. He's going to get the neutralize onto the quarry in bottom lane, but Evelyn returns. They're going to pick up this kill, no problem, onto Nunu. We'll see if Nunu is forced to use a revive. Amumu is nearby, so I don't think so, and that's really good. He just burned Maokai's revive, and he doesn't need to use his to come back, so his is going to be up for another chance. Amumu is actually going to go a little bit aggressive on the neutralized quarry. He's going to stop it. He wants to keep it neutralized for as long as possible. He does interrupt both channels on Evelyn and Maokai. He's actually doing quite a bit of damage onto Evelyn, so she's forced to run. Maokai now dueling 1v1, and Amumu, his job is that he's actually going to pick up the health right. No, he's going to get stuck. He does get it though. He gets snared right at the tip of the health really, picks it up, and we do see Corki coming in with that storm shield. Maokai in a lot of trouble. He's going to get his armor shredded by the Gatling gun, and Corki picks it up with another auto attack. They want to capture this quarry. Evelyn has come back. She is level 6. Is her ultimate up? It is up. Ezreal's here too. That's a lot of damage, but Amumu is coming back for the tankiness to be added next to Corki. Corki doing so much damage with that storm shield, just bursts down Evelyn. Now Ezreal forced to run with that arcane shift. Meanwhile, in the top portion of the map, Lee Sin and Kha'Zix just ripping the enemy team apart. Can Kha'Zix live? He does live with that last minute kill by Lee Sin, a double kill for Lee Sin, and we are seeing MSM being highly dominant in this round 1 match.
Cool, I just gotten in the game, and yes, with 4 caps to 1, and just so little damage done to the Nexus health so far. I mean, they've only had, what, maybe 4 deaths? Yeah, a few deaths across their team, and that has been absolutely it right now. Now, the bottom lane, though, however, mobbing down there from their summon platform, they are able to unseat Nunu from the point, and they're going to turn that around neutral. And they're going to pick a quick full cap up on that point there with the minions coming down there to help out. But Corki and Kha'Zix are right nearby. Evelyn's stealth just kind of walking around there, and Corki is able to catch her. And that damage coming out from Corki, not Corki, Kha'Zix, excuse me, taking Evelyn down in the jungle there, which might set them up to make a play for bottom. Nope, they're just swing around in the top half of the map instead.
Kha'Zix is going to run in with his ultimate. He sent a lot of good bursts onto Ezreal, but Ezreal's going to turn it back around. Kha'Zix, he did stealth, but it only lasts a second. He is shown right away. Malphite taking so much damage, though. runs in a little bit behind his teammates and gets cut off. 3v1, gets killed by Lee Sin once again. Lee Sin at 7-0-2 is just dominating right now. Has that Phage on top of his Prospector's Blade, and now they're looking to just keep the pressure up on the refinery. It is the objective right now on the Crystal Scar, so that's going to be a really good damage. But Evelyn takes so much damage from Kha'Zix, and then he's going to leap out before Ezreal can chase down. Lee Sin trying to pressure him from behind. They're just waiting for the minions to push and neutralize this tower. Then they can go for the fight. No, Amumu's actually just going to go and crit with the StAT Mummy. Evelyn gets bursted down immediately. Ezreal trying to kite, but he gets exhausted. Lee Sin also exhausted, but Amumu is not. That's a lot of damage. Another double kill for Lee Sin, and the ultimate from Malphite is not going to connect. Can he chase though? He did get the Seismic Shard. That slows Lee Sin, and he tries to get away with the Sonic Wave and Resonating Strike, but he didn't have enough time to fly over as Malphite finished him off, and now Malphite gets to chase down this crying mummy.
Yeah, Malphite might be able to chip him down, but I kind of doubt it. Moon's looking a little bit better in the mana department than he is. Negaramus is going to go ahead, and he's going to back off from there. Down at the bottom, Corki's trying to keep this point neutral away from Maokai and Aurelia, and Kha'Zix looking to get this point captured here. Gets hit with the Seismic Shard and goes ahead and leaps on out of the way. Haven't seen any evolved leap yet on Kha'Zix, though, unfortunately, but it's still a little early in the game. It's only 7 minutes in right now.
Yep, he did choose to go for the Evolved Claws first for that extra damage. I would assume that the next one will be the Leap. It's just so valuable, but we'll see. It should be coming up soon. He is level 9, so just 2 more levels, and he's going to get him involved. Evelyn almost gets caught. The Banish Toss is going to land, but Ezreal's free to do damage right now. The True Shot Barrage lands onto all 3 people, and Kha'Zix is forced to kite and run. As they run away, they do pick up the kill onto Malphite. Kha'Zix is going to get out alive for the time being, but they're going to turn around, try to pick up another kill. Corki comes in with the Storm Shield. He can 1v2 right now. He's so strong. Ezreal is caught in between Kha'Zix and Corki. His Mystic Shot not going to connect, and Kha'Zix gets the finishing blow with that execution. Now going to port back to base. Great team fight from MSM.
And down the bottom lane, Soup kind of pushing Maokai out away from the creep wave a little bit there, and Amumu coming in down from the top, which should make Maokai have to turn around and respond to that and interrupt him. Corki going for the refinery, putting on a lot of pressure over there. There's a There's a Garrison there, so that creep wave not so important anymore. Just gonna make a comment on it, but Garrison's really good at being able to help ward off those creep waves a little bit. Chasing Lee Sin now. Lee and Corki falling back to their tower, but Lee Sin turning around all of a sudden goes in and then jumps right on back out. Corki doesn't have a lot of mana though, able to get that Gatling gun rolling, but he doesn't have too much else. Has to pop the flash, but Malphite right through the wall with Unstoppable Force to deliver that airborne to him. And Evelyn is going to go in there and zone Lee Sin away from the point to let her teammates cap, and they're going to pick up the windmill, but they've lost the bottom lane in that exchange. Maokai was not able to defend that point.
Yeah, very unfortunate. They finally came on top in a fight. Pretty well played, especially with that Malphite responding right away to that flash, catching both of the champions up at the windmill. And they did get the damage buff from the objective, so they should be able to defend this top tower for a little bit longer. But Amumu is already here. Kha'Zix is able to wrap around from the back. He was pressuring down the refinery. This isn't looking too good for Malphite and Ezreal. Ezreal gets caught by the Sonic Wave and Resonating Strike. Great Arcane Shift, though. He waited for that flyover execution from Lee Sin, but there's the Crystal StAT Mummy, catches both of them right under the tower. They're going to put out so much damage. The tankiness of Amumu just taking several tower shots, not a problem. And we do see Aurelia showing up with Evelyn, but they know it's too dangerous. The tower has gotten neutralized and it's 3v2. They can't fight without the tower. Ezreal has been shown by that phosphorus bomb, so they're forced to retreat as Nunu is just having a strong grip on this quarry down below. Malphite trying to pressure it, but it's not looking too good.
No, it is not. Soup is getting a little bit lower and lower on health down there, and Ezreal with the True Shot Barrage fires a shot off, and that tower's really, really close to neutral. Is he going to try and go for the defense, or is he going to fall back? He's going to go for the defense. He's going to not... Oh, he's going to get Shaboinker in the exchange, but Ezreal's going to help clean it up and turn the tower around. But up at the refinery, however, though, Rise dives in for Convalescence there, and Corki with a little bit of a tricky play there with that Valkyrie trying to get out the last moment, but not quite able to do so, is going to get taken down. And now, Amumu doing a pretty good job of keeping on Eve right there, and
not looking too good for Kha'Zix right now. It's right next to the base, so Ezreal was able to stay safe on the stairs and put out free damage. Kha'Zix and Lee Sin both melee, not able to catch up to Ezreal and force him all the way back. Lots of free damage coming out. Irelia shows up at the end to help, and the 3 people here are from the blue team able to kill off the enemies. They are going to get the refinery back. Can Irelia get the neutralize and maybe even the capture on the windmill? I don't. She should definitely be able to get the neutralize. I'm not so sure about the capture. Ezreal is showing up though. They might be able to cap and then defend immediately. It is Corki and Amumu coming up. That's pretty dangerous right now. Corki is fairly strong compared to Ezreal. Has that finished Triforce. They're not going to get the cap. When Corki shows up, Irelia dives in right away, and Amumu dives for Ezreal, but Amumu is going to be able to turn around much easier, and they're going to single Irelia out 2v1. Irelia knows she has to run. She's going to live for the time being, but the tears are too strong. Irelia melts to those tears from the StAT Mummy, and Ezreal now trying to kite Amumu. Look at him just get kited down, but Amumu is still alive. He is going, no, he's not going to get out. Evelyn uses her ult in a desperation kill, but Lee Sin, great play, uses the ult and then catches up with the execution to get the kill. Can MSM capture this tower with Malphite in the area? Irelia has shown up with that revive, and now is going to chase away Corki over the wall. There's a True Shot Barrage, and now Corki's pretty low. If StAT wants, they can force a fight right here. They should be able to take out Corki quite fast. Malphite doesn't have his ult, though. He needs a little bit more time, and that may be a little bit too long if we see anyone else from MSM show up. They're still trying to capture the windmill, and we do see the fight beginning. There's the ultimate, and Corki gets locked down right at the wall there, not able to move. Irelia finishes off the kill, and now Lee Sin is forced to run. Amumu is coming up to try to help MSM, but StAT gets the windmill. Can they defend it though with Amumu coming up? Can Malphite even make it back to the tower safely? He's taking so much damage. Irelia can't turn around and help. He's just gonna die on the tower right away. The tower's gonna go straight back to MSM.
He was, however, able to throw down that garrison and slow things down a little bit up at the top lane. However, they were very successful in bottom lane while all of that was going on, able to turn that point around. So even though there was the windmill, they do pick up the bottom tower. However, it's going to be really tough for them to defend that. It's going to be up to Malphite and Irelia to try and make a play happen up here at the top, and to see if they can take advantage of the pressure that's going to be going on down at the bottom lane. And we see Lee Sin making short work of Irelia down on the lower half of the map. The Maelstrom not quite able to keep her alive, and now Shaboinker getting eaten up by the enemy team, and Ezreal has the Arcane Shift on out of there. Corki's chasing him pretty solidly, only able to land landing some damage as he's chasing him back. Ezreal turn around, popping some shots off, but not able to take him down, unfortunately. And now they've got a garrison to save the tower with. Fortunately, Shaboinker is able to keep that from turning over right now. And at the top lane, it's Malphite against Lee Sin to try and see who can get that point. Kha'Zix is on his way up, though.
Lee Sin is way on top in this exchange right now. There is no tower, so it's a straight 1v1, and Kha'Zix is going to get right near against the wall. He should be able to pick up the kill. No problem. There's the leap, and there is the execution with his Q. We do see the evolved leap now on Kha'Zix. There's a True Shot Barrage, but it misses Lee Sin, so Lee Sin's still able to capture the windmill, and Kha'Zix is just going to move on away to help the team, maybe get some pickoffs, especially on Ezreal as he moves up. Ezreal needs to watch out. Kha'Zix is going to return to lane and show himself. Meanwhile, bottom, we do see Amumu trying to defend against 3 people, but all 3 people are pretty low. There's the exhaust, though. No damage coming out from Amumu. I really picks up the kill. Can they get the capture before Lee Sin and Nunu show up? Yup, the capture's going to go down really quick, and they do take the Boneyard for StAT on the blue side right now. Lee Sin's going to clear this wave really quick, and they should be able to recap this and maybe even get a kill on Maokai right now. Maokai caught completely not without an escape. Lee Sin's going to pick up that kill, no problem, while we see the rest of StAT go back to their base. Meanwhile, top lane, Kha'Zix has taken a little bit of damage, and we do see Malphite pressuring that windmill with Ezreal. Ezreal Arcane Shifts right over the wall, not going to get separated by Kha'Zix. That you don't want to be isolated with Kha'Zix. He has that mechanic to do extra damage when there are no allies nearby you. Kha'Zix is going to run away using his ultimate to stealth in and out, juked, and he's trying to delay this as long as possible. It is still neutralized. Can Lee Sin get here in time to get the capture? Meanwhile, in the middle, we do see Corki getting caught by Evelyn. Evelyn dodges the bandage toss, is going to run away. Kha'Zix has jumped in with Lee Sin. Can they get the kill on Ezreal? Yes, they do get the kill. Malphite now uses the ultimate, and Kha'Zix sadly not able to jump over the walls and really catches him right at the end. Evelyn shows up with her ultimate. So much damage coming out right now. Amumu does not have an answer. Can he even pick the kill? No, he definitely will not be able to, especially if they turn around and go for the tower. Now they do have the tower advantage. Amumu needs to back out, but is he going to stay and try to get a kill, or maybe even delay this as long as possible? I don't think that was the best move. I really putting out a lot of damage. There's a true damage coming out. So much attack speed, but Amumu is actually shredding her health quite a bit with those tears. But there goes the burst from Irelia and a kill for StAT. And now with the 3 cap at 55 to 326 Nexus health.
Yeah, Death to Existence doing a very good job in the middle of the map there before that fight, being able to single out Corky and take him down, which means they were down one of their primary damage dealers in that fight. And that really helped turn things around up top. Arella catching Kha'Zix right before he was able to leap out was also key in them being able to succeed there. Now Egaramus up at the top of the map trying to zone them back away. There are some creeps on the tower though, but they look like they're in a pretty good position to defend right now. Death to Existence is stealth, just hanging out outside the tower. Anyone that tries to come up from the bottom is going to have to deal with Eve, and Eve is nope, she's not looking for a whoa narrow with the sonic wave right there, just barely missing getting hit by that, which would have spelled disaster, I think, if she had gotten tagged and Lee Sin was able to engage. And now, though, we have them kind of spreading out. They see the pain going down right there, and she does get revealed and falling back to the refinery there. She's trying to get back onto the point as quickly as she can. It's able to do a lot of damage to Kha'Zix, fortunately, and Aurelia is looking to follow up on that, but she isn't able to keep up with him, though.
That left the top vulnerable. Really leaving was maybe a mistake. She did get to defend the refinery for the time being, but she's also taking a lot of damage. Meanwhile, top was completely cleared by Mumu and Corky. Rise, now alone against two of the members of MSM. Kha'Zix tries to leap out, but will get finished off by the tower. Can Rizal turn this completely around? Amumu showing up, needs to run away. Sonic Wave thankfully does not connect for Rizal, and now Irelia going to maybe defend this tower. No, just going to port back because Evelyn is in the area. We do see the rest of MSM also banging out. Lee Sin barely making it out from that brush as we see Egoramus, Death, and Gudo try to catch up, maybe go for the windmill. Everyone backed up from MSM, so it's a free tower right now. If they go straight for the channel, it's only going to be Malphite, though. Ezreal looking to clear the wave, though. He gets the memo. He's going to go for the channel right away. The neutralize will go down. Can they get the capture? I'm not so sure. Movement just passed by the speed shrine. We do see Convalence on Corky following right behind. The bandage toss is going to land over the wall, and Malphite in a lot of trouble right now. Look at that damage coming up from Corky. There's the ensemble, of course, but not good enough as we see Pneumatic also come up on Lee Sin, and Malphite just gets melted. Ezreal barely dodges that sonic wave, but Gudo now in a lot of trouble. Pneumatic is very strong right now. It is also closer to Health Rally. Health Rally actually gets snatched by Ezreal with that good arcane shift, and now there's the exhaust onto Lee Sin, but he just doesn't have damage to finish him off before help comes from over the wall as Patootie goes over with the bandage toss, gets the kill, and the windmill will go back in favor for MSM as Corky is now also on the refinery. That's going to be a 3-cap as they sacrifice the Boneyard for that, and MSM is going to be completely okay with that situation.
Yeah, they're still in the dominant in the dominant role in the game right now with the 3 towers. Both the bottom lanes are held by StAT, but are they going to be able to defend it? There's an offensive garrison on that tower, and Kha'Zix takes a lot of damage. He's getting forced back out of the fight scene using that leap to get away down there. And Nunu looking a little bit worse for wear too, but now with Lee Sin back from the platform able to deliver some damage, but Death to Existence with that Evelyn there able to knock Kha'Zix down a peg. Things can be okay for a few more seconds, but Amumu, backcapping the point, is able to secure a neutral, and they're going to have to work really hard to stop this clock right now.
Yep, they only have a little bit left, 11 points left right now. Evelyn and Maokai trying to kill off this Amumu. The tower is still neutralized. It's 2-2 though, so the clock has stopped. Mission accomplished for the time being. Amumu will go down. Maokai is going to be able to capture the bottom tower here at the quarry. At the same time, Boneyard's actually going to go in favor of MSM. I don't think a StAT can stop this Ezreal if he gets the neutralize fast enough. Can they stop it? I'm not so sure. We have a second left. There's the stop on the clock. Can the capture go down? No. Corey is still neutralized down at the bottom, so MSM will come up with a strong victory, 260-0.